and we have started a little late, but yes, here we are with our distinguished guest who is enjoying himself. So what we shall do, for those of you who are new to the platform, we shall have introductions for the new members. You tell us your name and what you're doing in terms of entrepreneurship, it could be ideation stage, prototyping, or even business, right? Because that's why we are here, so that we can move from one level to another. So you tell us your name and what you're doing in that line of entrepreneurship. So we shall move like this, only the new members, in the interest of time.
Good evening, everyone.
Try to be a little bit, you can stand in case to be audible.
Okay, my name is Ahmad De Walter, ideation stage. Yes, thank you.
So what are you ideating?
Yes, the very gist of our discussion today, that is the pharmaceutical business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're a student, you can also tell us that I'm a student. Eh?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Yvonne Nimurunji. I'm a student, a fresher, pursuing a Bachelor of Pharmacy. I'm glad and excited to be here. I hope to learn, and maybe the next time I'll tell you the business. I'll be the entrepreneur. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Apofia Nahabwe. I'm a student at MAST in my final year. My innovation is the okra standard tea. We are still doing preclinical studies on it, but it's meant to be a supplement for diabetes. Thank you.
Okay.
My name is Simon Tumuhaise, and I deal in personal care and dietary supplements.
Personal care?
Personal care products.
Personal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And dietary products.
Oh.
Partnering with Okata Wellness Solutions.
Okay. Okay, you're welcome.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Veronica Nachiemba. I'm a first year student at MAST. I do pharmaceutical sciences. We have a prototype of an anti-ulcer syrup called Alcimed. Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Okay, you're welcome, Veronica.
I'm Karuhanga Naume Joyce. I'm a microbiologist. I'm so much interested in drug discovery.
Okay, drug discovery. Okay, so once again, you're all welcome to the 16th edition of the Entrepreneurs Lounge, and we're always here every Friday, starting from 6 p.m. to 7:30, and that is nowhere other than Cafe Kandra, Mbarara. So for productive engagements with fellow entrepreneurs, startups, and business owners to see a way to better businesses, especially around here in Mbarara and southwestern Uganda at large. So today we have an amazing guest that is so well distinguished in the community in various areas, especially the pharma sector, given the fact that most of his roles or areas of interest are in the pharma sector. So before we get to know who we have today, I know all of us are anticipating to know, even our online viewers, to know who we have today in the house. And I'll let him tell us who he is, what he's doing, what inspired him to do what he's doing, and anything else relating to his work of his line of work, and maybe why he chose that line of work. And maybe from there, we can be able to engage him well. So you're welcome, Dr. Dan Kuguminkiriza. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Emma. Mareka. Name is Dan Kuguminkiriza. And my background is I'm a pharmacist by training. and also a pharmacist by practice. I'm a multidimensional pharmacist.
Okay.
To start with, I'm a senior hospital pharmacist working with the Ruharo Mission Hospital. That is the hospital bit. As we move ahead during the discussion, I'll try to dissect pharmacy profession into several sectors such that you can appreciate that you can either take on one sector or you can go into multiple of them. So going back to the introduction, I said I'm an hospital pharmacist at a senior pharmacist level. Part of that, I also do manufacturing. So I'm a company pharmacist of a manufacturing unit within Ruharo, where we deal in parenterals.
Parenterals.
Yes.
Okay.
Very sterile, very critical. I'm the company pharmacist there. I do research, and currently I'm a pharmacist under grants office MAST. We do majorly clinical trials. That is under HIV and several other sectors. Away from the formal employment,
Okay, that's what we are interested
I
in
also
most.
hit the jungles of the streets,
Okay.
and I also do community pharmacy. And my trade name is D-Plus Pharmaceuticals, where I operate close to 7 branches of pharmacies and also upcoming drug shops. As we shall discuss, you'll try to understand how a prospective investor who intends to invest in pharmacy business can penetrate the market depending on the assessment. I'm a married person, blessed with one wife and 3 children, and I'm a resident of Mbarara, Nkokonjerusel, that is Ruharo.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that has been, give him a round of applause. You can see the man of many sectors. He has really invested in having a cross-sector kind of career, and that is so impressive because not everyone can do that, given the fact that also these young entrepreneurs would like to juggle many things around, much as many times it's actually daunting and it is not easy to sustain. So, Dr. Dan, you've talked about being in the clinical sector, you've talked about being in a manufacturing area, and right now you're also in the community.
Yes, community pharmacy.
Yeah, as a community pharmacist.
Yes.
Yeah, actually found in many branches. You talked about 7+
Yes.
all across the country. And one wonders how do you juggle all that at once? Because I mean, you're just human. What is that secret you use?
Very interesting.
Yeah.
You see, in life, you need to have a dream.
Okay.
And as a person, you try to work towards it.
Okay.
As you work towards it, you realize you have to have a certain level of sacrifice. The sacrifice can be in terms of time. The sacrifice can be in terms of money, resources. But also you should be able to trust and delegate.
Okay.
That is where the secret lies. You see, let's say when I move out of the house and I have to go and visit the hospital, and on the same day there is a batch which is running.
Under production.
Under production. Then you find the other side of the university, there is possibly a protocol that didn't go well, and they need your review. Then you go to a pharmacy and they are telling you there are some challenges, maybe with the National Drug Authority. What do? When you're setting up your strategies to achieve your dream, it is two-way. Will you execute every step by yourself, or you'll put there actors to help you execute these activities? If you have one task, let's say hospital work, then most likely you're going to involve yourself in everything.
Okay.
You'll go and possibly do a ward round, and after that you'll do maybe inventory management. Then you walk to the pharmacy and you want to see what is being dispensed yourself. But in a case where you have also manufacturing, it means you have to establish what I can call systems which can work under your guidance, under your supervision, but when you're not physically there.
So you have to build something beyond your presence.
Beyond your presence.
Okay.
Yeah, in the pharma world, we call it, you establish what we call standard operating procedures.
SOPs.
SOPs. So these standard operating procedures, either in pharmacy practice, industry, hospital, they will give guidelines. They will give a stepwise guide on how activities are executed. Now, these SOPs are owned by you, the final approver, that whatever is done following that SOP, the outcome you can always defend it. So meaning you start by establishing standard operating procedures which will help these people under you to execute activities like the way you would execute them yourself. The beauty with it is that these are written, so someone can read to dot and implement.
Step by step and
Step
be able
by
to follow.
step. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've talked about National Drug Authority often being one of the major hurdles
Yes.
in the pharmacy business.
Yes.
And you understand that for young entrepreneurs like them and I, especially with capital, many times we have our money to start,
Yes.
but no prior pharmacy experience or pharma experience. So what is that single most underestimated kind of step in obtaining a manufacturing or wholesale license? And how long does it realistically take to move from concept to the first sale? Yeah.
I'll give you a wide view of it.
Okay.
Here is a starter who doesn't have capital.
Or even has some capital.
Or has some capital. And wants to start manufacturing. Which options do you take? One of them is you can start small.
Start small.
With products which are not so critical.
What do you mean by products which are not so critical?
So there are categories of products.
Okay.
What I call critical is parenterals, which are highly, highly regulated. Then the non-parenterals are not highly regulated. For example, syrups, capsules, tablets, those orals, topical creams, they are not highly regulated. So you find the environment of manufacturing is not so expensive to establish. Meaning, if you're an upcoming pharma investor, you would look at those products which you can compound easily without so much restrictions from the regulator. And then once you touch the peak somewhere and you have the money to go into the massive complex production, now you go in for those products which are hard to manufacture. Okay? Then the lighter side, you have your idea.
Okay.
You have a prototype possibly. You have tested it and you know it works. There is the option of partnerships.
Partnerships.
Yes. So you look out for an established facility
Okay.
which possibly is already bearing a license to manufacture, and then you go into discussion with them. That discussion will involve what we call contract manufacturing.
Contract manufacturing. Okay.
So you'll give them the formula, possibly the product details, the production protocols that you want to be followed, and then they will follow whatever you've given them. And according to your terms of agreement, it can be either white label contract manufacturing. When I say white label, the company you've gotten goes and manufactures
On your behalf.
on your behalf.
Okay.
But then you go ahead and brand it yourself under your company. Let's say Emma Pharmaceuticals is an established company. But then Dan comes in with a registered company, but he doesn't have the money. So you go into contract manufacturing with Emma Pharmaceuticals. Emma manufactures for you, but then the label bears Dan Pharmaceuticals. I don't know whether you get my
So
point.
Dan Pharmaceuticals is.
So that's
Pharmaceuticals
what
is the,
we
is
call
the brand.
Yes.
Per se.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what we call white label. Yes. That is the simpler side of it. More so for the upcoming. Once you catch up with the market and you make the money, then you can now close the contract manufacturing agreement and you go in for independent manufacturing.
Okay.
Yes.
So I would like to make an assumption that you've heard about the narrative of buy Uganda, build Uganda. Bubu.
Yes. Yes.
And then we see a rise in local manufacturing units. Like, for example, your Ruharo manufacturing unit.
Yes.
Is it eye drops?
Yes.
Yeah, apparently it was. So is local manufacturing really profitable for a startup right now? Like, many of us may want to invest ourselves in there. Or are you actually competing against cheaper, established Indian generic imports? What is the real cost benefit analysis around that?
From my experience,
Yeah.
I'll give you a little background about Ruharo.
Okay.
So I joined the Ruharo in 2018. And by that time, there was no manufacturing per se. They just used to do some little compounding. When I joined as a pharmacist, of the hospital, not as a manufacturing pharmacist, I looked at where the gap was. Ruharo is a specialist hospital for eye care. Now, for a specialist hospital, you want to give customized care to every case, customized treatment to every patient. And here is a pharmacist who comes with that knowledge of pharmaceutics, how I can develop a product, how I can formulate it, how I can work out with the formula.
Okay.
And I propose it to management. At first, management didn't quickly buy the idea.
Okay.
But I insisted because, I knew what I was pursuing. Fortunately, the idea was brought up. So we went stepwise in the development of the manufacturing unit, besides the hospital work that I was doing. I can tell you,
Gideon,
that after 2022, the manufacturing unit became a prominent department in the hospital.
just after 4 years.
Yes, self-sustaining, and it can have a reserve fund. Of course, I cannot mention the amount of reserve.
Even when we had the COVID lockdown, you guys were getting
That's the time
self-sustaining.
actually when we made money.
Okay.
You talked about the Indian generics.
That are imported, yeah.
I want to tell you that the market is wide enough to accommodate everyone. As long as
Say that again, because there's already a myth that us, the young, entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
there's already have high competition from the big dogs,
No,
the
no,
big
no,
farmers.
no,
So
no, no.
when you say that, it kind of soothes our
Yes,
hearts.
the market is wide enough to accommodate everyone.
Ah,
One parameter that a person has to take up is how do you build confidence in the product that you're putting on market? Is it self-advertising, or someone has to speak for it 1,000 words for people to believe? So in our product model, we said, let's produce a product which is self-marketing. That when someone goes and uses it, he goes around to look for that specific product. And that is it. We don't go marketing our products, but I want to assure you that the entire country, where there is an eye hospital, they all look for Ruharu products. And currently we are even exporting to other countries.
that's impressive. So wherever
Yes.
there is any eye drop or
Yes.
from Ruharu manufacturing plant,
Yes.
it speaks for itself.
It speaks for itself.
Now that's something all of us would like to
Yes.
have for our products, no matter the sector, whether
Yes.
pharmaceutical, food,
Yes.
or any other sector.
Yes.
So you've spoken about building trust in the market, and now you understand that many of us are looking to enter the market. We are
Yes.
new entrants, yeah. So how can we build that trust in our customers and even clinicians, so that we know that we already know that the market is flooded with counterfeit and substandard products. So amidst that situation, how do we build trust
Oh, thank
amongst
you.
our customers so that they can support us with one heart, knowing that our products bear quality? Yeah.
One, don't bombard the market with so many products at a go. If you have, let's say, 5 products, and you want all of them into the market, from your pilot studies, you'll try to establish which one is your priority product in the market.
Move like the prototype.
Fast moving product from the pilot study.
Yeah.
Then push that product. Try to make it as good as possible, such that the brand, let's say Dan, that is born by that product, can speak for other products.
Okay.
That is it.
So I think that seems to be the story of Covidex.
Exactly.
Covidex surpassing the company name, and then
Exactly.
the rest of the products are
Exactly.
just being sold
Yes.
under the same umbrella.
Exactly. Right now, the selling product for Jena is Covidex. When you talk about Covidex, you can now bring in the Jena Cough, Jena Flu as secondary products.
Okay.
Yes.
So you've talked about being in the community there as a community pharmacist
Yes.
and a CEO of a chain of pharmacies and drug shops all across Uganda.
Yes.
So as the CEO of D-Plus Pharmacies, you understand retail pharmacy chains, right?
Yes.
So with circulation of pharmacies in urban areas,
Yes.
like Kampala and maybe even Barara, what is the untapped opportunity? Is it rural distribution, franchise models, or is it specialized clinics?
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I've operated in both rural and urban. And when I finished campus, of course, we had some little backup from parents, though I didn't go for capital.
So what's that backup you got from the parents?
The
Because
backup,
me, I would get capital. I wouldn't take anything else.
the parents gave us education.
Guys,
and,
is that backup?
Yes.
When is education? Okay.
And
Yes.
the education made us to acquire the certificates of practice.
Okay.
So after becoming a pharmacist, my dad operates pharmacy business.
Okay.
And I'm the biggest shareholder in those businesses. But I didn't go back to operate within business. I came back to the ground and used my little savings to start a drug shop. By that time, I didn't have capital to start in urban areas. So I had to go and look for a rural area where I became the big king,
Become the big dog.
the big dog in the area.
Okay.
Yes. Now, what always brings down people is to reach, they want, the feeling that they should reach the highest level, even when they don't have capacity.
I think you need to say that again because it's one critical issue we all face.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you'll come and look at Dr. Dan, who has established himself over time, close to 10 years. And then for you want to be there to his level within 1 year. My dear, you may collapse. How is the market? You find a city setting, you need backup in terms of money, resources, and everything. In the city, the operation expenses are quite high as compared to the rural setting. So meaning, depending on your level, it is good to make an assessment where your capital can put you. Don't go in the middle of town with a capital of 20, 30 million and you think you will favorably compete.
What is the estimate of, if I want to be in the city center?
In the
If I
city
want to be in
center,
the city center, what's the estimate? Because many of
currently,
us want to be in the city center.
Yes.
We are putting our ventures out there, right?
currently, if you want to compete favorably in Mbarara, in the city center, you need a minimum of 150 million to start.
150 million.
Yes.
Then how much do I need in Kampala?
Kampala still the same range. Mbarara and Kampala, they are the same level.
Guys, remember they said start small,
Yes.
but you need 150 million. Eh?
Well,
Yes.
I guess that's small.
Yes. So, what I would advise that when you come out, possibly you're desperate to have your own pharmacy. Do you have to go to the city center? It may be tricky unless you have a backup of parents to support you. But if you started from the outskirts, possibly you find the capital requirement is less, maybe 40, 50 million. And then two, at that point, I wouldn't expect you to recruit a lot of staff. I would expect you to involve directly into your business. Because I mean, you have less resources that you cannot trust anyone with to manage for you. But also managing those resources is a cost. And you don't want to transfer that cost to another person because at the end of it, it will impact on your operational costs. So if you have less capital, try to involve yourself directly in the operations until you reach a level where you see that your resources can actually work for you to employ people to work for you. You pay off people's time. You know, a salary is a payoff of someone's time. Yes. So until you reach that level, I would advise you not to go for recruitment of several staff. Involve yourself, be active in the business, and you see how it grows.
Be present.
Yes. Then over time, you can see that now your potential, your experience can now attack the city center. And then you now start pursuing to enter the city with all that confidence. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, our guest today. Hi, everyone. I hope we are enjoying the conversation. I don't know if the people at the back are hearing everything. You may want to ask questions later on at the end of this segment. And also, please try to order a tea or water and support our gracious hosts, Cafe Kantra. But to our guest, I would like to take you a little bit back.
Yes.
We've moved through everything that has been done. It's quite an impressive journey,
Yes.
and we're glad to be learning that from you. But I want to know, we would like to know what specific problem in Uganda's healthcare or even the pharmaceutical sector made you decide to start D-Plus Pharmacies instead of remaining purely in employment? Because many professionals, and if you look at the biggest mindset of, for instance, students, we are studying to get employed.
Yes.
Was you secure the employment, for you to then go for that risk of getting into entrepreneurship. At what point did you know that you are ready to move from just being, employed as a pharmacist to a community pharmacist as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, thank you. So when you come out as a pharmacist, during the study, you're exposed to several things. Maybe during that time, when you're a student, you try to do some community pharmacy practice. Then you go for hospital placement. You go for industrial training. One thing I've seen in this practice, a person who is in community pharmacy will get exposed to many molecules compared to someone who is in manufacturing.
Oh, okay.
For example, if I'm manufacturing, let's say, parenterals, I'm limited to knowledge of those parenterals. But this person who is in community pharmacy is going to meet those parenterals, is going to meet the tablets, is going to meet the capsules, is going to meet several brands of products. So the knowledge that person has in the pharmacy world becomes of a wider scope than this person who is limited to employment and knowledge is only restricted to that area of employment. Then the other perspective, employment is good, but it gives service to a localized environment. Where I sit as a pharmacist in the hospital, you find I'm interacting majorly with staff whom I supervise. But then I also want to have a feel of what does the community benefit from me directly. And when I go and sit down in my pharmacy and this client walks in and says, you know, doctor, I've been on these drugs for this period of time. I've gotten this response to this. How can you advise? And I have my input. And the following day, that person comes back and says, you know what, I did what you told me, and I am feeling better. I can tell you the joy you get is priceless. Then the third point, sustainability of life. For you may be still young, but with time, you'll get families. When you get a family, you start thinking beyond your life. I have a job. It is well paying. What happens when I'm no more? When that thought comes, then you start saying, I need to put a sustainable source of income for my family. And in so doing, you start now establishing pharmacies, put systems which can run even when you're not there. And I can assure you right now, at least I'm sure, even if I'm gone, my family can never suffer. Because at least I have establishments with systems which can run even if the family members are not directly involved.
Well,
Yes.
isn't that all we dream of? I mean, that's why we all chase the bank,
Yeah.
to make sure that our families and our dependents are well catered for. Well, you talked about if someone wants to start within the city center in Bara, they would need about 150 million, right? Does the 150 million involve, for instance, licensing, the premises and the initial stock? Is it a realistic amount to say, I have it right now, and probably in a week or a month, I can have a starting point. I can have a West Pharmacy somewhere.
You see, the regulation of pharmacy practice is quite strict. Of course, there are guidelines that we follow. Even with your money, you can fail to start.
Okay.
Then 2, you're going to look at the target market. If you're establishing, let's say in the middle of town, what is your target market? There are places which are known to be walk-in places. Then there are those places which are known to be receiving hospital prescriptions. Then there are those places which are known to be like OPD, where someone comes in, you clerk, and then you prescribe and you give the drug. So those 3 categories determine the amount of capital.
Okay.
If you are in a place which receives prescriptions, I assure you, you'll need even capital of 200 million. Because you'll find, let's say, a bottle of rituximab. One bottle goes for 2 million.
Oh, wow.
Yes?
Wow.
And as a stockist, you want to have like maybe 5 or 10.
Yeah.
That is already 15 million or 20. Yes? In one item. And these are small bottles.
Yeah.
You don't want your pharmacy to look empty.
Mm.
So when I say 150, I'm giving you the average that you need.
Across the 3 categories at least?
Across the 3 categories.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So we agree that the pharmacy business is highly regulated, and in a short while we'll be coming to the bill that is in Parliament.
Yes.
About further tightening the nuts
Yes.
around pharmacy business. But before that, you've said it's not just enough that I have the 150 million.
Yes.
But I also need to know, as an entrepreneur, what are the first 5 regulatory requirements that at least I should have. And in that question, we'd also want to know, so I'm a computer scientist.
Yes.
I'm not involved in anything, medicine or pharmacy. But I also know that through different discussions,
Yes.
I have a colleague, he's called Anthony Natif.
Yes.
Former owner of the Guardian Pharmacies.
Yes.
And he bagged millions and millions of money by selling it to my dawa in Kenya.
Yes.
And I thought, okay, I think this is profitable. But the question is, when I want to set up, I have the money, but I want to then set it up.
Yes.
I'm going to follow the regulations. Who else is a must to be involved? Because for you as a pharmacist, maybe it's easier to get a license because it's your pharmacy.
Yes.
But me, who is outside this scope, who do I need? Do I need to have a nurse on board? Do I need a doctor? Who do I need?
Thank you. So the principal person in pharmacy business is a pharmacist.
Okay.
Without a pharmacist, you cannot operate pharmacy business in Uganda. Okay. Of course, that is gazetted in the Pharmacy and Drugs Act of Uganda.
Yeah.
So that is one principal person. Once you bring a pharmacist on board, he will guide you and he can help you to register a company. You can have a company, let's say Cafe Kandra. But as Cafe Kandra, without a pharmacist, they cannot start a business until a pharmacist is incorporated as one of the directors.
Okay.
Most times we incorporate in a pharmacist as a director without shares, but becomes a technical director. So that is the second thing.
Yeah.
Once the company is registered, then now we go into the formal guidelines of licensing, where you have to ask for pre-inspection, and during pre-inspection, depending on the location of the place, depending on the circumstance of the matter at point. Because, for example, when you're licensing, upgrading a drug shop to a pharmacy, the requirements are not the same as someone who is starting a fresh application for a pharmacy. Yes. So you find the requirements are different according to the guideline.
Yeah.
Of course, the strict one is the distance. Distance from one pharmacy to the next. Distance from one drug shop to the next. The application of that guideline depends on the circumstance. Is it a drug shop? Is it a pharmacy direct? Then the minimum area of the room. You may get your space, you may get your room, but then you find the space cannot accommodate the requirements of, let's say, a retail pharmacy. That is the 20 square meters. So they cannot issue you a license. Then the other one is the suitability of the location. You cannot get a pharmacy and you put it downstream, let's say where there is a sewer line, and then they give you a license. No, they may not, because of maybe the impact that the sewer line has towards the drugs. So that is also considered.
Okay.
Then once all that is done, if you pass all those requirements, then you'll engage the pharmacist to apply for a
The
license.
license.
Yes. And at that point, the pharmacist can be able to guide you on the recruitment, but the minimum we need is at least a person who has a medical background with a certificate. Yes.
Okay. So guys, tomorrow we start pharmacies. Let's get to those places. Let's get the money. So now this is this question is going to be my personal observation.
Yes.
I've been involved in some research around antimicrobial resistance, which is as a result of us being able to use and access antibiotics, and mostly without prescription. Now, most of our pharmacies operate as over-the-top, over-the-counter kind of method. Without any prescription, I can access so many drugs in any pharmacy.
Yes.
And that is proving to be an issue to us. People are resisting drugs over time. People just come, I come in and I tell this person what I want, not what should be given to me in that circumstance.
Yes.
What do you think we should do about that? As the people involved in pharmacy, but also as the community. Yeah.
So it is a challenge, actually. Antimicrobial resistance is a challenge. And as a professional, this is the root cause of the problem that we are seeing. People are driven by money and they lose out the aspect of professionalism. Then two, the inability to acquire competent staff is also a big challenge. You get a staff who is there just to receive information and give. That is very dangerous. A person behind the counter should be able to understand, why is this person asking for this medicine? What is the purpose? Has that person exposed himself to other antibiotics before, or this is the first time? Now, when we get driven by the other two factors, one, the money, and then two, the competence, because I mean, it is a competent person who can examine. You cannot examine what you don't know. It starts from your knowledge, that now you examine the other person, and then you can guide. So to me, moving forward, we need to preach professionalism in pharmacy practice.
Professionalism.
Very important. Then the other two, the second thing is have competent staff.
Competent staff.
Competent staff. A competent staff who is professional, I'm sure, can work against antimicrobial resistance and its progress. Short of that, we shall continue to have this challenge.
So professionalism competence,
Yes,
and
those two.
even ethics.
Ethics.
So, but
Maybe just a quick one. I do understand the need for professionalism, really. You hire the right staff
Yes.
who are competent enough, who are able to tell, a member of the public that, hey, you want this kind of medication, but there's no prescription for it.
Yes.
That I understand. But we need to be honest with ourselves. We are entrepreneurs.
Yes.
We need the money. We need to secure the future for our kids and
Yes.
family. In what world do we really turn down or send back members of the public who have come in for medication without prescription? Yes, we need to be professional, but also we need the money. How do we
Yes.
balance those two really?
I'll tell you from my personal experience. You see, building trust in the public sometimes takes that hard decision. That this person will walk in today and say, I need this medicine. And you'll try to question. And if that person fails to define the purpose, you say, I think I'll not be able to give you the medicine until possibly you get a prescription. That person will be hurt the first time it happens. But I assure you, the information that person will transmit to others will make the public believe that actually there is professionalism in the other pharmacy.
don't you think that instead ruin your market and image of the pharmacy?
Not really. I'm trying to drive to a point of sustainability. There is you establishing, let's say, a business when you want a quick gain. And there is this establishment where you say, I want a generational business.
Generational wealth.
Yes. Built on principles.
Okay.
As we're coming up as a young pharmacists, there is a pharmacy called Vyamaka.
Vyamaka Pharmaceuticals, eh?
Vyamaka Pharmaceuticals.
Okay.
It was a benchmark area for professionalism. And some of us, we are trying to emulate what he does. And that's what we preach to our staff. Be professional. If someone walks in and says, I want meropenem,
Pethidine.
I want pethidine, can you ask for a prescription? If the person doesn't have a prescription, then you bounce them. Tomorrow, that person will say the other pharmacy, I'm sure whatever they sell is original. That's according to the public. It's original. They will give you the best information about a product. And I'm sure whatever they tell you is true and it will work for you. And to me, as a business person, I look at sustainability. That this business is built on a culture that tomorrow any person who is responsible enough will respect and honor that that is the pharmacy where I can get the best service. Yes.
Okay. So I wanted to drive you back to the issue of professionalism.
Yes.
Because that is so key and integral. So one may argue that there is shortage of pharmaceutical technologists or even qualified pharmacists, yeah? And that's why maybe the aspect of professionalism is not integrated in the pharma business per se.
Yes.
There. So how does a startup, maybe pharmaceutical manufacturing company or pharmacy compete with these government hospitals and entities that are already established chains and already having high structures of paying for their workers, or recruitment,
Yes.
So how would someone compete with that already established chain to make sure that they can integrate themselves into the system to survive? Because we understand that government entities are highly paying, which may be a myth, because I could work at your pharmacy and you pay me hard, and that the government would pay me. So how is it like for that?
I'll answer you with an example.
Mm.
When I started practicing, there was an opportunity of a government job.
Mm.
But in my view, I said, I think I need to stay in Ruharo,
Mm. Ruharo Mission Hospital.
Ruharo Mission Hospital.
Mm.
And I remember one of my parents
Mm.
was like, how do you refuse a government job
Exactly.
and you stay in
a hustle.
a hustle?
Mm.
Then he made a statement like, do you want to go and work at planet Mars or... But me, I looked at two things.
Okay.
One of them was career development. If I stayed in this facility,
How am I going to grow?
how am I going to grow as a pharmacist?
Mm.
So I looked at the opportunities that are entailed in this facility where I'm currently working,
Mm.
and going to the other side and I be restricted to inventory management, making orders to national medical stores, and so on and so forth. Then two, like I highlighted before,
Mm.
as a sharp person, you don't have to look at the pay at one place.
Mm.
You look at the opportunities surrounding that place where you're working.
Okay. Fishing.
For example, if I got a job in Bweju
Where's district?
district, how possible would it be for me to establish a community pharmacy in Bweju and make the money that possibly I would make in Imbarara? So
that you can do the job alongside
Yes.
your hustle.
Yes.
Okay.
So you put in all those considerations. So you don't look at only the salary.
Okay.
Yes. So going direct to your question, that is one thing. Make an environment which allows people to venture into other things and
To
not
diversify.
Yes.
Okay.
And not get restricted to only one thing.
Mm.
Basically, that's what makes someone comfortable.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you very much, Dr. Dan. So you stated that you're a hospital pharmacist.
Yes.
Yeah. And that you built a chain and now you're managing one of the biggest self-sustaining manufacturing plants.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you had to start over, today at
Yes.
25 years old, yeah, with limited capital, of course, 25 years old.
Yes.
Yeah. By the same knowledge, what is the first specific need in the Ugandan pharma value chain you would enter? And maybe why? Tell us why. Let's delve back into time and see.
Very good one. I started my investments when I was 26.
26.
Yes. And just like I earlier said, little capital, but with the knowledge. So I went in for a small drug shop because I had the pharmacy business, but I didn't have the capital to start a pharmacy. And given the restrictions, starting a drug shop is easier in a rural setting than actually starting a pharmacy. So I would advise someone that with your little money at 25, you may find the capital requirement of a drug shop is maybe 5 million or 10, depending on the setting that you want to make. Go in for it. Go in for it. Start small from a rural setting. Manage it well. I assure you, after 1 year, you'll have potential possibly to raise 20, 30 million on your account, and it can facilitate you to start a bigger enterprise.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in short, whatever you make out of that business don't just eat it.
Yes.
Reinvest.
Ah,
Have
now
a vision.
for that one,
Mm.
they always teach us that every time you start a business,
Mm.
know you have established another person
Mm.
who can be given something to
Mm.
pay back, but also you can be given something
Mm.
to pay back to the other person.
Okay.
The day you differentiate that is the day you learn that actually when you make a business,
Mm.
you're supposed to feed it, but not you to drain it.
You're supposed to feed a business and not you
Yes.
to drain it.
Yes.
So as I conclude with my questions, before we go to Comrade Wesley and then to the questions of our members. So we had previously we had an esteemed guest seated where you are
Yes.
in the past weeks, and she talked about that's Dr. Martha
Yes.
Choshaba Twinama School.
Yes.
Talked about the 10 by 10 by 10 principle, whereby when you make money
Yes.
in any business, but now case in scenario pharmacy business or pharma business,
Yes.
you get off 10%
Mm.
and give it to someone who needs, who is lacking.
Yes.
There's someone needy, get another 10%, reinvest it in the business,
Yes.
and get another 10% and give it to God.
Yes.
What is your take on that? Is it your modus operandi or you have something different?
So there is the other perspective of theology,
Okay, theology.
where someone says you have to get a tenth of your earning. But you need to know what is the earning.
What is the earning?
Yes. So do you get a tenth of all what you've made, or you get a tenth of the profit you've made? It's very important to understand it.
I think maybe you need to draw for us the line between a tenth of the entire earnings,
Yes.
or a tenth of the profit, all loss. In any case, of course, not always
Yes.
a profit.
Hey.
Yeah.
So it's very important to ascertain that.
Okay.
Because if you're to give, let's say, a tithe, to me, it is supposed to be on the net. The profit you've made, let's say 10,000.
That is to you.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you say a tenth of it, I can give it back to God. Okay? And then the tenth, she talks about giving to the needy. Yes, I support it.
Okay. So
But then we need to define the needy.
who is needy?
Yes. We need to
Okay.
define the needy.
I think now it's getting harder. Eh? You understand? Who is needy? So thank you very much, Dr. Dan. And
yes.
I'll let Comrade Spartan finalize the questions, and then we go to. I hope you guys are ready with your questions. There is a list here passing by. You can register your order. Please note that they give us an offer of discounted orders. So whatever you order is discounted at almost half price. For example, now this tea was 10,000, but I'm going to take it at 5,000. So feel free to order something. Yeah. So you can register there in case you want to take something, and then they'll give it to you in a minute. Okay. Yes.
All right. As we get to the last bits of this conversation, please try to also engage with us after here. We have our social media platforms, the Entrepreneurs Launch, across all the major platforms. You can always follow us. This conversation will be uploaded later on. If you've missed something, you can always, revisit it or even share it with friends, because that's how we are getting new members coming out to the launch. Now, Doctor.
Yes, please.
I would suppose that you've gone through or even read the new National Drug and Health Products Authority Bill,
Yes.
2025, which is now on the floor of Parliament, and it's going to impact anyone in this room who thinks about entrepreneurship in the line of pharmacy or pharma. Now, this law proposes an expansion in licensing and, regulatory oversight.
Yes.
Do you think it's going to be harder or even safer for entrepreneurs to enter into the pharmaceutical sector. And on that, the committee was able to note that the bill may increase the cost of doing business due to the multiple licenses and the fees that is going to be involved. So from an entrepreneur's perspective, is regulation going to become too expensive for us to start? Because now, before this bill becomes an act, I would think that it is still cheaper now to start. But once this bill becomes an act and is then enforced, do you think it's going to be harder or even expensive for us to start?
Yeah, thank you. Unregulated business is always more expensive than regulated business.
But we do have a regulation in place already, at least.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the more tighter regulation becomes, one, it is going to favor some people
Yeah.
who can abide. Then it will be a disservice to those who cannot abide. For every event, there are those who benefit, there are those who don't benefit. It is going to become, of course, kind of costly in operations. But what happens when everyone can actually afford? So competition sets in. Like any other person in business, when competition sets in, you look out for strategies to win the market. And those strategies, most people, they invest in a lot, possibly to build the quality in a product such that they can attract people. That is a cost. Second, in a competitive world, you find people cutting prices. I don't know whether you're getting my foundation.
Yeah.
Then, in an environment where you find the regulation is becoming tight and there are few players in the market, it means, one, the competition somehow lessens. And then the other reverse happens. Okay? So you find very few people can actually afford to go into the business. They can do mergers. They can discuss maybe market prices. And they say, you know, let's all do Hilcoff. Is it called Hilcoff?
Yeah, Hilcoff DS.
Yes. Let's all put Hilcoff at, let's say, 5,000. And then it becomes a standard price. In a competitive world, you'll find this one is selling it at 3,000, the other one 5,000. So at the end of it, the profit margin as a business person gets affected. So the long-term effect of unregulated business actually becomes more expensive than the regulated business. In terms of establishment, like anyone who is already there, I would prefer that the regulation actually becomes tighter.
Okay.
Yes. Such that we don't get substandard products on market. Two,
There's no compromise on quality.
yes, we have faced a challenge of adulteration of products. Because you want a smooth skin, someone makes some cosmetic thing and then puts there
Ozempic.
yes, puts betamethasone in high concentrations, such that when you apply it, it becomes smooth, but then the long-term effect becomes high. So the regulation fine may affect some people in those fields, let's say cosmetology, which has not been so much regulated, but it is for the good. I know establishing the regulatory requirements starting from the premises, the personnel, the equipment. It is costly because it means regular periodic audits will be made on these facilities for them to be licensed. But then, on the cost of life, the population benefits. So to me, I think disregarding the monetary bit of it, the overall effect of the new law is actually good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So as we get into our entrepreneurship journey, please let's put that into consideration and into mind. Now, my very last question before we come to you guys. So please prepare your questions and let them be a little bit precise. We do not have much time. So my last question, I come from the world of technology.
Yes.
And I would like to know, or would like to know, what your mind is about digital health, inventory systems, software that are being now used in multiple pharmacies, and telemedicine.
Yes.
Me and a couple of colleagues right now, we are starting a telemedicine company. We actually just got incorporated yesterday. We now have our certificate.
Okay.
So we will be coming toe to toe with Rocket Health,
Yes.
MyDawa, and other telemedicine companies. How do you think this is changing the pharmacy business models, or even the way it's operating right now in Uganda? And where do you see that intersection
Yes.
with the traditional pharmacies where I walk in vis-a-vis the pharmacies where I can now order and get what I want from home and stuff like that?
Actually, it's a good one. Yesterday, I was somewhere and the conversation was, where is the world heading? What are the basic needs currently? And one person said, one is technology.
Basic needs.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Internet is becoming a basic need.
It's now a human right, actually.
And then they added water and other things.
Yeah.
So going back to the pharma world, with the new technology, with the coming up of machine learning, with the coming up of AI, telemedicine, if you don't change when you're in pharma business, then at a certain point, you'll be left out. Any person who is in pharma business, any person who is intending to enter into pharma business should study the new trends of technology and try to work with them. Short of that, I assure you, your success will be limited to a short time. That's what I can tell you.
Okay. So guys, I'm available for all your tech stuff within your businesses.
Yes.
Yes. Now, to our audience, we hope that the conversation has been enlightening, that we've learned something. I could see a couple of us noting down a couple of things. So I presume that we do have questions. So how many do have questions? We want to be done by 9 p.m. So that leaves us with about 23 minutes. How many have questions?
Let's see
One,
those who have
two.
questions.
1, 2. Oh, only 2 people? 3, 4, 5.
Guys,
All right.
questions, I'm seeing hands like
So
this.
5 people.
So
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gideon, is
6.
your hand up? 6.
Okay.
Okay.
So would you prefer to answer the questions one by one, or you would take in?
I think one by one is better.
All right.
Yes.
So let's be quick through the questions.
Yes, it has been so insightful. Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Dr. Dan. Personally, I'm glad to have met you here. My questions are very simple and straightforward. The first one is, you talked about a drug shop and a pharmacy. Some of us who don't have the background of pharmacy may wonder what is the difference between a drug shop and a pharmacy. And the second one is in the same line, like give us a highlight of someone who is necessarily not having a background of pharmacy, what key elements, how can they go about if they want to invest into pharmacy? Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I'll quickly address that before we go to the next. Drug shop and pharmacy. The difference is in the classes of medicines that are sold. The scope. The current guideline allows drug shops to stock Class C drugs, cosmetics, sundries. You're not restricted. Then there are those PHC antibiotics. Those ones which heal these common illnesses, flu, cough, simple. Those ones which are always given out by VHTs in villages. Yeah, those ones can be allowed in a drug shop. A pharmacy, meanwhile, can stock up to Class A restricted medicines. Yes, that is the biggest difference. Then your other question was on what do you need to know, like someone who is not having that background of pharmacy. Like I said before, you can have the money, but then you'll need a technical person. So a technical person in this case for a drug shop, we need a minimum of a certificate in medical course. That is nursing, pharmacy. Yes, once you get that person, then it is that person who will apply for a license of a drug shop on your behalf, and then you'll be licensed to start. The other requirements are the normal guidelines of distance, space requirements, and so on and so forth. I hope I've addressed your concerns. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Doctor. My question was actually is my name. My name is Simon Tumaise, and I deal in dietary supplements and personal care products. My question wanted to be the same like for this lady. I wanted you to differentiate between a drug shop, which products or which drugs and are they drug shops also entitled to have personal care products and dietary supplements, or they are allowed to be even in pharmacies only?
Yeah, thank you. I can address that. So a drug shop is only restricted from selling Class B and A medicines. Supplements, dietary supplements, and the personal care, those ones you can stock. Yes, yes, you can stock.
So the man is looking for market.
Yes.
That was a personal question.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Doctor, very much for the knowledge you've shared with us. You can't hear me? My name is Bridget Mohofa. I'm a pharmacy student in year 3. My question is, since we're all here, and I see like 3/4 of the people here are students, but the knowledge you're giving us is really practical, you know? It's like how you've shared with us your journey, and I feel like if someone goes back to hostel, sits 2 years, 3 years, how tangible will that knowledge still be? So I was thinking of maybe you hope I throw some light in case like we want to venture out into maybe like a drug shop. As I'm a student, I can like find a technical person and I set up something small which I can grow with, learn from in case I make some mistakes, you know. And then by the time I'm finishing school, I have some stepping stone on which I can base on than like just talking about it. I want it to be action, you know. I want to go into production, like action, something that I can see. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Maybe to quickly address that, I've always encouraged students to visit pharmacies and drug shops during their time of studying, instead of staying in the hostels and so on. You know, what we study in a lecture room, what we study in a classroom is kind of different from what is on the ground. For you to be an integral student, you need to go to the lecture room, capture the knowledge there, then you move back and have some hands-on. I would encourage you that during your holidays, don't go back home and watch movies and so on. Look out for a nearby pharmacy or drug shop and practice. 2, there are times of the semester when you're not so busy. Please look out for pharmacies around. At least occupy yourself, even if it is 2 hours in a week, such that you have hands-on. You'll be there studying, let's say Pepto-Bismuth, and then you're imagining how does it look? When they talk of quadruple therapy, how is it? And then you're there cramming antipsychotics, you know. But when you come, reach to a pharmacy and touch a packet, and you're like, oh, this is it, I'm sure you'll not forget what dopamine does. Yes.
And maybe just add on that. There's a student who reached out to me asking to billing to a pharmacy to practice. So after 2 days of working 2 hours,
yes,
he told me that, and here, okay, So I was saying that there was a student who reached out to me,
yes,
just add on what you have said. She wanted to practice in a pharmacy. So I linked her to a colleague who has a pharmacy, and after 2 days of practicing in a pharmacy, 2 hours a day, she told me, here they don't pay. So I think you need to talk about the aspect of knowing what you want,
yes,
against the aspect of money, given the fact that you're still a student and you need to practice.
I think I need to talk about
I
it.
think that's a critical issue. Because
Yes.
personally, I was so disappointed after hustle to convince a year 2 student to get in a pharmacy. You know how hard it is. I'm sure you would never allow.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe
it
you
becomes
would,
hard,
but
so I want to tell you as students, you need to learn. And when you learn, your knowledge of what you've learned serves you. If you walked into a pharmacy and it is evident that you have knowledge of what is supposed to be done, then there is a worth of a cost attached to you. But if you come and then you cannot even differentiate between a packet of Panadol and a packet of Tramadol, then it becomes actually a cost maintaining you in a pharmacy.
you become a liability.
Yes. So these first months, kindly, I would encourage you to visit at your own cost. Then after some time, you can now move out and say, I have knowledge on this. The pharmacies I run, actually I have students there. There is a gentleman called Dr. Maridad, Smart. He came to me when he was in year 2. Then he said, you know what, doctor, I just want to learn and I get knowledge. It was a serious interview panel. They didn't give him a job. But he kept calling me. He said, but me, I just want to learn. So I said, okay, let him come and have a chance. I want to tell you, by the time he left, actually he was the one managing the pharmacies.
Right.
Because he went through all the steps of learning to a point where he could manage the pharmacies. And I think he earned some good money, which facilitated him to go and start his own pharmacy in partnership with a colleague. Yes. So you invest in your time, and then the money can always come later. Yes.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I'm still comparing a drug shop.
Maybe you could start, we can't hear you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. My name is Kabahinda Patience. I'm a student. So I'm still comparing a drug shop and a pharmacy. So I have less money, but I need to invest it. So I'm deciding to start a drug shop. And then there is a pharmacy nearby. So I'm imagining that I'm looking at the profit margin. Do I have to increase prices? And when I increase prices, definitely people will have to enter a pharmacy and not a drug shop. So what do I do to maintain it? And also, another thing, you mentioned that when you're upgrading from a drug shop to a pharmacy, it is different from when you're starting a pharmacy from scratch. So I'm imagining, if I'm talking about distance, I don't know if they will really look at a drug shop from a pharmacy. So I've started a drug shop and later I want to upgrade it to a pharmacy. Do they still mind about the distance from another pharmacy or not?
Okay, thank you. One, for you to start a drug shop, there are restrictions of distance. Lately, they brought in restrictions of the location. For example, Mbarara City, they say they don't license new drug shops. So it means by the time you start your new drug shop, you're already a distance away from Mbarara City or the nearest pharmacy. Two, the location of your drug shop. I'm sure by the time you say, I'm going to put it on Isinjiro Road, there is a market that you have already calculated and you're targeting that possibly is not served by the pharmacy. That one is also there. The profit margin. When we're starting, I mentioned something that actually the market is too big to accommodate all of us, and each of us gets his portion. You operate your drug shop, I assure you, you'll get what is yours. As long as you give it proper branding, you keep professional and competent in whatever you do. The trust will be built, and instead of people going to a pharmacy, they will say, let's look for the other Msao who managed us on this case, and we became better. Yes. Then let's go to the other point of drug shop upgrading to a pharmacy. Yes. So once you already have a drug shop, the law of distance from a pharmacy doesn't affect you. As long as you keep within a radius of 200 meters. So even if a pharmacy is, let's say, located at Intake, that's around 150 meters from here, and you have your drug shop, you can actually go and place it on the next door of the...
I missed another question.
Yes.
So you mentioned competence, and you said the minimum should be someone with medical background. Certificates. So do you talk about this competence depending on the qualification or the experience?
Oh, very good. So when we say competence, competence has so many dimensions of definition. And you start from the qualification, then you go to experience, you look at the skills also. Yes.
Thank you so much, Doctor. My name is Akandonda Timothy Aldo. I'm a pharmacy student. So actually I have two questions. The first one is it possible for someone actually to open up a pharmacy with no background in the business? Like they have not worked anywhere, but then they open up a pharmacy. Is that possible? Then another one is about retail and wholesale pharmacy. Which of those two has a wider profit margin, and which one would you recommend someone to start with for starters?
Thank you. So, I think you're talking as a student who has finished and you have not practiced anywhere and you want to start a pharmacy. My brother, you'll be challenged because at that point, you'll have to recruit someone who actually knows how to operate a pharmacy, who can identify the packets of the different drugs. You may not just walk out of class and then you start a pharmacy and you think you'll man it yourself. At that point, you'll be naive. And it will cost you to bring in someone who has experience from another pharmacy to come and work with you and teach you. Surprisingly, you find maybe a nurse is the one teaching a pharmacist. What a shame.
My name is Yvonne Nimrunch. I'm a pharmacy student. My question is on risk management.
Yes.
What are the major risks in the pharma business, and how can we minimize them or prevent them?
Yeah, maybe before I go to your question, he also talked about retail and wholesale. Yes. A retail pharmacy is not capital intensive compared to wholesale. Then two, the dynamics of wholesale business is becoming challenging lately. Why? Because manufacturers have idle stock. And when they have idle stock, they look for distributors. Those distributors have a capacity to give credit to retailers. And then the retailers make the money, they sell the products, pay the distributors, and then the distributors revert back the money to the manufacturer. Yes. So for you to start with your cash, that you want to do a wholesale pharmacy against this person who is actually picking drugs from a manufacturer without any cost of purchase, and you want to compete with such a person, it becomes tricky. So I would recommend that for starters, you go in for retail, such that you directly deal with the consumer. Let's talk about risk management and the risks involved in pharmacy business. The biggest risk we have is non-compliance to the regulations. The day National Drug Authority comes and says, sir, you've been operating illegally. You've always brought in products which are illegal, and then they close you. That is the day, one, it will affect your brand image. People will get to know that pharmacy has been dealing in illegal products. They will start saying maybe they bring in magendo from outside, products which are not licensed, and it will affect your market totally. So the trust, you can lose it. As long as you try to comply with what is required, the other risks are manageable. For example, petty theft of postina by maybe the male or female dispensers, then petty theft of cash. Those ones are manageable. With the intervention of IT nowadays, a lot of things have been sorted. Yes.
Yes. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Mambale Gideon, and I'm a pharmacy student, Mara University. Well, Pardon?
Start off again. University of Science and Technology.
Yeah, Mara University of Science and Technology. Yeah, I'm humbled to be part of this engagement, and I thank Mr. Malik and Dr. Dan, to be part of this engagement. So my question is, I think even before I came here, we had a discussion about this with a friend who is not around, and we were talking about also the pharmacy business, opening up a pharmacy, and we were talking about the capital. So now this is a young man who has just left university, or who is about to leave university, but is looking at who has interest in pharmacy business. Yes, you're talking about the money. You have talked about the 5 million for the drug shop, the 40 million or 50 million for a pharmacy in away from the city, and then about 150 million for a pharmacy in the city setting. Well, actually, we had even calculated with this friend of mine, but for us, we had reached about 100 million for a city, an estimation. So when I had you speak of 150, I was like, okay, we are close. Yeah, now I want to ask about this money. Now we are students, you don't have the money. So we are discussing about the source of the money. So in the business, are you opening up this business for starters? Do you use your own money? Do you form partners with your friends? Or do you get loans? Or do you get a loan? Well, from my friend, he had said a loan is better to start up a business, and he had talked of starting big. He told me that when you start big, you're going to get big, but when you start small, you're going to get small. So, well, we are students, and I'm glad that we're also having this, so you can guide us. Really,
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So I'll start from the last bit. You know, when you raise yourself so high without a proper foundation, if you fall down, you'll hit yourself hard. That's why we advise that you start small and then you get up there. 2, getting money is one thing, and then operating a business is another thing. I would advise that if you have a dream of starting a pharmacy, and possibly you know you can raise some money, first look out for skills of managing a pharmacy. If it is possible, go and work with a pharmacy that you look up to, that I wish I could also have a pharmacy of this kind. Look for an opportunity in such a pharmacy. See how they are operating. See how they are running. And then you can copy some of the things from there, and then you put them in your what? Your own investment. Source of funding. Any business, when you start it with your own money, the risk is less. The advantages are more. Getting a loan to boost a business is the best thing than getting a loan to start. For example, if I have an establishment, and let's say I have my capital stock of 40 million, and I have a feeling that the market demand requires extra stock of 20 million. I already have operational stock, but I need extra stock. I can now go for the 20 million and then add in to enable me maybe compete. But for you to lie to yourself that you're going to get this loan, finance this business, and you start it, You don't know the challenges you'll face. What if you get a loan and then the next day NDA says you cannot proceed? 2, there is a possibility of you getting a loan and tomorrow a bigger company comes and opens next to you. That distorts your target market. So it means you financing the business for continuity, but also paying back the loan becomes tricky. The starters, my little friends whom I've talked to, I always advise them that, okay, if you have some little money and you feel like going for a loan, use that little money, establish your premises, go through the licensing process, have your first stock, put it there, and then now you can proceed and process a small loan. Once you get it, add in stock and open immediately. But you securing a loan such that you do rent for the house, partitioning, and then it takes another 4 months for you to get a license to start, it becomes very tricky for you. The ultimate thing is, don't dream so big when you don't have the capacity to hold it. Go slow and you'll get there. It's one step at a time. Yes.
Thank you, Doctor, and thank you, members, for asking questions. I hope that they've been answered to his best ability. Now, as we wind up, again, I welcome you to the launch. This is our 16th episode. We started this last year, late last year, and we are moving on pretty well. We are seeing some bit of growth. We are seeing new members, new faces. But as we try to provide this service to you guys, we realize that we do need to formalize the membership of the launch. There are quite a couple of benefits that come with being a member of the launch. For instance, having these conversations every Friday. It doesn't come cheap and it doesn't come easy to have these distinguished speakers come spend their time with us, going through the production of these episodes and publish them online. But also we've started doing vocational tours. So for instance, you've heard from the doctor, and this is okay, but imagine if he could offer us the opportunity to one day visit one of his pharmacies or even the chain of pharmacies and look at them physically and learn and interact with the employees. So we've started having vocational tours. A couple of weeks back, we had the opportunity to visit Mr. Baria at his hardware, and we learned quite a lot. We also have some other vocational tours lined up, and those are some of the benefits that come with being a member of the launch. And so our membership is something that is quite manageable, even for students. It's 100,000 per year. So in 12 months, 100,000. And you don't need to pay it upfront. You can pay at your convenience. Maybe every Friday if you come around, or if we are having a vocational tour, you could come around with 5,000. It goes a long way in helping us bring these services to you, right? So please consider it. Maybe next Friday you could come with a 5,000, or we have our members from the finance committee here. Now, Doctor, as we end this,
yes,
we would like to have your final remarks. And in your final remarks, you could also add in what do you think about this, the launch, anything that you've liked, anything that you think we can do even much better. And you could also, in your sphere of influence and work, could you please also recommend to us who you think is the best fit to be in that seat after you, so that that person can talk to us and we also get to learn. And then finally, we will do a very short session. We will fire you rapid questions.
Yes.
It's either yes or no or just a quick answer. There is no wrong answer. It's just really fun. So to the remarks.
Yeah. Thank you, the hosts. I think you're two.
Yes.
Yeah, for the opportunity given to me to speak to my good friends. As I conclude, don't be a fixed pharmacist. Be a multidimensional pharmacist. Like I earlier started, I told you I do manufacturing, I do hospital practice, I do research, I do community pharmacy. In this world, the way you position yourself actually determines what your future becomes. The way you position yourself will always sell you out there. Like any pharmacist, when you're in product development, you want a product which is self-marketing. When you're using Hillcough DS, you should be able to recommend it to another person. Be that pharmacist, be that student who can be recommended to any opportunity whenever there is a chance. How does it come? One, of course, you need the skills. Two, skills come with experience. What you do gives you the knowledge of how to do it best tomorrow. And then that puts you at a better advantage in the world. Back to this program. How it came up, I don't know the genesis, but I believe it was a good revelation.
Guys, clap for that. Okay.
And whoever initiated it, I recommend that we move away from just the physical meetings, but we establish also the online bit of it, such that people can attend. Where I sit, it is hard to access me. Even if you made an appointment, you come to office, they tell you you have to wait, and maybe you see him for 5 minutes and run away. So when such an opportunity comes and someone sees that Dr. Dan is going to speak about this, very, very many people here in Imbarara, outside Imbarara, elsewhere, they would have a feeling that how I wish we could listen to what he's saying. So we need to look at that part also. And I've also loved it that you look out for individuals who are influential in different sectors of life. And to me, the most important thing, you're shaping a generation for the future. A generation which has skills on business, a generation which has knowledge on what to do after school, is a generation which can build a better country. Because, like I said earlier, in class we study, but you need to interact. You need to rub shoulders with those people who are already there, such that they give you insights of what actually happens outside. So that on that day of graduation, as you're excited, you're like, I remember Dr. Dan talking to me about this. I think as I'm moving out of this tent, I need to go slow whenever there is an investment. Two, I shouldn't be restricted because the market is big enough for all of us. With that, I think I've covered most of the part. Maybe the other part is which person I would recommend for the next visit. I think I should look through my people, but also I would ask you to give me where your best interest is, such that maybe I can look into my circles and I see the most suitable person to share such a topic with you. Yes.
We'll do that, and hopefully that will be our next guest. Now, to the rapid fire session. It's just really fun. So,
Cameraman, focus.
all right. So, they're just random questions. They don't have
Yes,
anything to do with this. So, who pays on the first date?
Guys, are listening?
Who should pay on the first date?
I think both.
Both.
Yes.
Ladies are okay with that, or we disagree? All right. Second, we have what started as a very small or contained war in the Middle East, but it's becoming a global war and it's affecting almost all sectors. Fuel is up, pharmaceuticals will be affected, and all that. So, just plainly, are you Team Iran or Team Israel?
We are so much affiliated to US and Israel as Uganda.
Okay.
Yes.
Not as an
Not as an individual.
Not as an individual.
Okay. As someone venturing into pharmaceutical business or pharma, would you prefer venture capital or bank loans?
Venture capital.
Okay. Yes. Who do you think will win the 2026 FIFA World Cup?
I'm looking at Portugal.
Portugal.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, there we are. All right, lastly, what are your Easter plans and can the launch join in?
This Easter I'm staying around. I always move out with the family, but this one I'm staying around.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. It's been a pleasure having you.
Yes.
And it's a pleasure always doing this every Friday. Please, next Friday, join us. At some point at your convenience, you could also join us and listen to another guest of ours.
Yes.
So it's a pleasure. I'm now handing over to my colleague, and we call it a Friday.
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Dan.
Yes.
Dr. Dan is my classmate. But he's richer. So, Dr. Dan,
yes.
Thank you very much for accepting. It's not easy, by the way, to get him, guys. A round of applause for him. Yeah, so I understand you run pharmacies.
Yes.
A manufacturing unit.
Yes.
And you even work at a hospital as hospital
Yes.
pharmacist. So when someone asks you, what do you do for a living? At a family gathering, what do you actually tell them? Do you just smell, or and then tell them I sell painkillers, or you actually tell them what you do?
Yeah, by virtue of the title doctor, people associate it with hospital.
Okay.
So I quickly tell them that actually I work with the hospital.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so what does Dr. Dan do on a Sunday afternoon when there is no pharmacy emergency, no board meeting? I understand you're a man of meetings, and no one needs your professional opinion.
Yes.
I want you to be honest. Yeah, are you watching football, napping, secretary running another business?
So Sunday after church, we always have a family meal. That is always our special day to commute at home. Kids have time with me, so we have a family meal either at home. By the way, I have a palace.
You have a palace, eh?
Yeah. So,
I'll talk to him and we visit his palace one day. Okay. So if you weren't in pharma,
yes. So
if you weren't in pharma, what career would you have chosen? And most importantly, would you have been any good at it?
I think farming.
Why farming?
Farming gives you life. Every time you go and look at these animals, you look at plants, by the time you come back home, you're refreshed. So
Okay.
to me, farming
Refreshment.
Yes.
Farming. Okay. So you wanted to say something about, I think, your palace or what? You want to invite us? Okay. So I'll talk to him. I know he will allow.
Yes.
Yeah. So the next question is, what is the most absurd thing a customer has ever asked you for at a pharmacy counter without a prescription? The one that made you question everything.
Pethidine.
Pethidine.
Yes.
Okay. So we've talked about, okay, if you had to name a new pharmaceutical product after Ugandan food or local celebrity to make it sell faster, what would you name it and why?
Cocomycin.
Cocomycin?
Yes.
Why cocomycin?
In one of my research, I did an extract from coconut.
Okay.
And I tested it against
certain bacteria.
Candida albicans, which was resistant to fluconazole. I did it with Epicenter.
Okay.
And I found that actually this extract was responding better than the
to
fluconazole.
get better results?
Yes.
Oh. So would you want to name it cocomycin from coconut? Oh, yes. Impressive, guys. Okay. So you've built a business.
Yes.
You are in manufacturing. You're in hospital leadership.
Yes.
So what keeps you awake at night? And of course, no, we don't mean coffee at Cafe Candra.
Actually, what keeps me awake is the pressure.
The pressure?
The pressure to meet targets.
What pressure?
So you find, possibly, you've made a product and they tell you it is not passing by assay.
Okay.
Or it is not stable. My friend, a batch
can't be lost.
A batch can't be lost. That night you spend it thinking, what change can I make in the morning? Remember, the recommendation you make is by mouth and say, make adjustment in this and it will come out like this. By the time you make that statement, you need to have read, you need to have consulted, you need to have thought. I tell you, a batch of, let's say, 60 million just to be poured away, it becomes so questionable. You cannot rest.
A batch can't fail.
A batch can't fail.
Okay. Now, quick ones.
Yes.
Lab work or business policy?
Business policy.
He's a man of money. Okay. Paracetamol or ibuprofen?
Paracetamol.
Okay. Drug manufacture or dispensing?
Manufacturing.
Okay. Mbarara or Kampala for business?
Mbarara.
Okay. Morning person or night owl?
Night.
Night.
Yeah.
Okay. So your day has just started. Okay. One business mistake you would never make again.
I think working without systems.
Working without systems. Okay. So best piece of advice you ever ignored and later regretted?
Yeah, my friend. When someone tells you don't drive at 140, and then because you're rushing, you drive at 140 and the traffic person stops you. And then he keeps you there for 2 hours.
Trying to negotiate.
Terrible. You lose out on the time, but also you lose out on the fuel. And
okay.
Yes.
So if you could give your 25-year-old self one statement or sentence, what would it be?
Always move one step at a time.
Always move one step at a time. Okay. And then finally, if a younger person in this room or this fireside chat tonight walks away and remembers only one thing you said, not about licensing, not about supply chains, but about the heart of building something meaningful in this country, what would you want that one thing to be?
In whatever you do, be professional.
In whatever you do, guys, repeat after me. In whatever you do, be professional. So I've been having a small chat with Dr. Dan, and he has offered to give us a day to go and visit his manufacturing plants at Ruharu Mission Hospital. And I'm sure you guys will be interested. However, priority will be given. He has told me a number, a limited number.
Yeah.
Priority will be given to members. So very soon, most likely next week. However, I'd like to announce that next week we have a vocational tour. So maybe the other week, we have a vocational tour at Nairobi Breweries. And I'll put the information on the group so that you register. But priority will be given to members. So guys, make sure you progress to being members, yeah? You know, it is stepwise. You don't have to pay all of it at once. You can pay slowly, but as long as you advance membership. So thank you very much, Dr. Dan. It's a pleasure always tapping in your potential.
Yes.
And yeah, so thank you very much, everyone, for attending. We've had a full house, and this has been the 16th edition of the Entrepreneurs Launch. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you again next Friday. Bye-bye.